Hey everybody, what's up? We are back with another video. Today we are looking at something a little bit different. It is called DXYZ. One guy very specifically requested me to do this multiple times and I kept forgetting, but I'm doing it now. DXYZ is a fund I discovered, which I normally don't do funds, but just for this one guy, I'm going to do it because he asked me so many times fairly politely, and I said yes every time and then kept forgetting. So we are going to go over it. So it is Destiny Tech 100, and they are a basically an ETF, technically a mutual fund, but you can buy them, I believe. You can't buy them on Robinhood. I already checked. You can most likely buy them on Vanguard, which I will check and confirm later in this video. But anyway, they basically invest in private equity. So one thing I will say immediately right off the bat is that it is a good way to get exposure into private equity because most people cannot get that. And I'm actually looking right now and it looks like it is tradable on Vanguard. So that is something. Um, and yes, it is. I could buy it if I wanted to. Um, so it's not tradable on Robinhood. It's not supported. It is tradable on Vanguard. So that is something. But they basically focus on tech companies in the private equity sector. They invest in them, and they basically just have a mutual fund based off of that. So it's fairly unique as a mutual fund. It grants you exposure to private equity, specifically tech companies, which are probably the hottest thing in private equity. So overall, I think it is a great concept. I'll kind of get into some things that they have on their fact set page, but overall, there's not really much for me to review here because they're not. It's not like a company or a stock. Normally, it's a mutual fund. So I'll get into a couple things that I think are interesting, and that's about it. So let's get into it. It'll be a short video, long intro, short video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and let's get into it. So, like I mentioned earlier, this is a mutual fund. It's not a regular stock, so I really can't go into like financials or anything like that. There is stuff here, but I honestly have no idea what it refers to. This could honestly just be like data for the fund itself. I really don't know. But because I don't really know how to back up these numbers with any kind of information, I'm just not going to even get into them that much. So let's just go over the fund overview. So basically, what they do is find the top 100 venture backed private technology companies. They invest in them and seek capital gains on their investments. So 80% of their total assets will be going into equity linked securities of companies engaged in technology. They focus on venture capital, private equity, tech, basically. So, overall, we concentrate our investments in companies operating in one or more industries within the technology group of industries. No assurance that our investment objective will be achieved or that it will be successful. And this is basically just like a disclaimer. Um, any changes to the objective are communicated. So, normal mutual fund stuff. So, overall, you can see that their performance has been very, very good. If we go to the past 3 months, um, which I believe it will update, possibly, maybe not. But this is over the past year, and they have performed fantastically. So they had a spike up earlier in. Oh, this is in the past. Wait, 8 2024, 12 2024. Ah, I see. Okay. It goes day, month, year. Got it. Okay. So earlier this year, they did have a big spike up. They were flat for a while, and now they have exploded once again, going from right around a price of $10 to $11 up to $68 a share. So they are kind of popping off recently. Now, I don't know if this is like a seasonal, it could be like a seasonal deal where um they just have good months of the year and then they drop back down. I honestly don't know. But what I will say is it is very hard as an individual investor to get exposure into private equity, and seeing that they do this. And I mean, obviously the time to buy was 2 months ago, but even still, just based on the way the history of it looks, it could be a solid investment in the future. But overall, I think it is a high risk. I could zoom in here and we could see really the growth 590% since October, which is very, very insane to even think about. There is some more information here, which I'll just go over quickly. Um, Nothing there. So I really didn't even look through this that much, but there may be a little bit of a holding summary, but because it is private companies, like I said, it really doesn't show what they actually have because they buy private companies. Um, so I really don't know. Um, but overall, like it says they have two securities, but obviously that's not true. They have multiple corporate bonds. So that is one thing that it could be is they buy the bonds of these companies, and that could possibly be what it is. I'm not exactly sure, but 83% of their portfolio is in fixed income. So I'm assuming what they do is invest in corporate bonds for these venture capital companies and then go from there. So that could be it, although debt isn't equity. So I'm not exactly sure. Holdings activity, can't really get much out of this. Really don't know. Portfolio trend, I don't know what any of this means. So that's honestly about it. We could go into the key items of their financials and kind of see some things. But honestly, again, this is mostly for the fund itself, not actually like what they own or their performance. So not too much information here. So really what's important is what they do, what they invest in. And honestly, I think it's a fantastic concept for private equity exposure. So check it out if you want to. Not recommending anybody buy it because I really don't know enough about it, and I'm not actually allowed to do that anyway. But overall, definitely a very interesting concept. Thanks again to that guy for commenting so many times for me to review this. But that's all I got for it. Hope you got something. Hope you learned something. Definitely check this out. Very interesting concept. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Thanks for watching.